Do you want to get over your fear of rejection real fast? There's a number of ways that you can do this, but I'm going to show you the best way to cut right through the crap and get to a point where you are not terrified of being rejected anymore. And frankly, if you do get rejected anyway, it's not that you never will. You won't be afraid of it because rejection won't crush you anymore. You will be firm in who you are, and your confidence will carry you through. If that sounds good, keep watching this video. I'm going to share a lot of those resources with you today and show you exactly how to make that happen. And if you want more information on anything I talk about in this video, make sure you check out adamlanesmith.com. I've got all kinds of resources on there for you, including my attachment bootcamp video course, which shows you how to fix your attachment. Frankly, if you are concerned about rejection that much, you may have anxious attachment style, and that course will help you fix it. That's the attachment bootcamp course on adamlanesmith.com. Check it out or drop me an email on there and ask me for more resources. Rejection. What the heck is rejection? Why are we so afraid of it? Why are we so afraid of something that's so nebulous? Because rejection for many of us represents death. Sound weird? It is, but here's what happens. When we are young and our brain forms the idea of how other people will treat us, how they will act toward us, how they're going to love us or not, our brain can connect rejection or abandonment with death. Because for a 2-year-old, getting rejected by your parents or your caregivers, for example, is death. You will starve and die in the forest. That's what your brain, your hunter-gatherer brain believes. Death and rejection get linked together. And then we end up isolated. So if you're someone who's isolated, you struggle to have relationships, you struggle to have good friendships that mean something to you. If you are afraid in your most intimate bonds and you don't know how to build those things, it's terrifying to be out there trying to get approval and connection with other human beings. It's horrifying. Because every person is a potential threat that could kill you accidentally. Not meaning to, not that they're going to kill you, but they could drive you away and it could wound you deeply and you will dive deeper and deeper into misery, especially if you're already dealing with depression. Being rejected, especially a lot of men fear rejection from women. Like, you've seen that meme before, right? Well, the worst thing she can say is no, but she says ew instead, right? That is rejection. And it's like, now I wish I was dead. If you've had those moments where you wish you were dead and you just got, well, it's horrifying. It's really, frankly, horrifying. If that's you and you're struggling in that rejection, a lot of it may be welded. It's because fear and rejection have been welded together with death in your brain because of your anxious attachment style. If that's you, if that's what you're facing, understand that you can fix that. Again, my attachment bootcamp video course can help you fix that, but you want to overcome rejection. You're not worried right now about the attachment. It's the rejection aspect of it. So let's talk about what that rejection actually represents to you. If you fear rejection, what you actually are afraid of is that you yourself are unlovable. You yourself are unacceptable. That if one person rejects you, they are right to do so. Right? That's where most of this fear comes in. I myself am innately unlovable. I am garbage, and other people are going to see that and reject me. Many people, especially many men who fear rejection from women, have this belief that they are going to see something unlovable and undesirable in you that's going to tear you apart. Is that you? Do you believe that you have something deep down on the inside of you that is innately unlovable, that is undesirable, and that no one will ever accept from you? If that's the case, we got to fix that. We have to fix that. So what is it people actually want from you in relationships? If it's not perfection, if it's not something innate, something that you don't have, what do people really want? Well, it turns out what they want from you is consistency in your principles. Number one, 4 steps here. 4 steps. I'm going to walk you through these things, but 4 steps to really overcome your fear of rejection. Today, especially though, I want to focus on the first 2. I've talked a lot about the last 2, but let's really dive deep into these first 2. Consistency in your principles is number 1. What are principles? Most people get hung up on this. Principles are the thing that you embody. They are the honor code you live to. They are the values that you hold that are more important than your own life, or should be. They are the values that you hold, the principles, the virtues, whatever you want to say, your honor code, your code of conduct that you hold on the inside, that is internally driven, that you uphold because it's right. And that's who you want to be. It could be honesty, courage, integrity, compassion, loyalty, honor, whatever those virtues or values or principles are, pick 3. Pick 3 and live to them more consistently. Because odds are good if you're afraid of rejection, you may be terrified of not being approved of. And your fear of not being approved of, again, is welded to death. So the fear of death kicks on and you violate your principles to please other people. and make them happy. And this makes you hate yourself. This is where your self-hatred probably comes from. It's where it is. It's the things that you do to earn approval from other people, and it's the craving of approval in the first place that makes you someone you don't want to be. Fix your principles. Live to them consistently. You do not have to be perfect. What you do need to do is pause when a decision hits and say, what do my principles have to say about this? When I do my coaching, when I coach people through this, I say, write a daily reminder at the beginning of the day on your phone that pings you about an hour after you wake up that says, I am a person, a man or a woman or whatever it may be. I am a person of honor, courage, integrity, compassion, loyalty, whatever your 2 or 3 are. I am a man of, for me, it's honesty, integrity, and compassion. I am a man of these things. Not, hey, these things are pretty cool, or just the words. Research shows that if you just put the words or something like that, or motivational, it doesn't really work. When you make it a part of your identity, it actually speaks to you. Yeah, I am a man of honor and loyalty, and yes, I am. It helps in the morning. It makes it who you are. Then you will make your decisions more based upon those things, and that helps in a big way. You need to have that set in the morning. And then at night, you have another reminder. Did I uphold my principles today? Then you have to confront that every single night. And write them on your bathroom mirror in dry erase red marker. Honor, and loyalty, courage, whatever your values are, write them on your bathroom mirror so you're confronted with them every day when you go into the bathroom. Do this and start living to those principles, build the buffer, and tell the people around you what you are living to. This makes you transparent and it makes you predictable as long as you start living consistently to them. And if the people around you can hold you accountable, then there are actual consequences for you violating them, and then you're less likely to do it. And you will be around people who love your values and your principles, and you'll be away from people who hate them. This is important. Because if you start living consistently to your principles, the only people who will reject you are the people who hate your principles. Let me say that again. If you live consistently within your principles, if all of your decisions are made to them and you talk about them openly and people know that these are who you are this. You are not your Warhammer fixation. You are not your video game addiction. You are not your job. Like I'm quoting Tyler Durden here. You are not your khakis. You are your principles. You are your principles. That is who you are. You don't have to go find them. They are the things that would bother you the most if someone said, wow, you really aren't this. You really don't live with honesty, do you? You really don't live with integrity. You aren't really compassionate toward other people, are you? The ones that hurt the most are the ones that you hold the deepest. And they might be the ones that you are violating the most right now. If that's the case, you need to start living to them. And the people who will be attracted to you are the people who love those principles. The more you become those principles and embody them, the more you will attract people who love those principles and hold them too. And then you have people in your life who hold those principles. So they will not reject you. They will accept you because they love those principles and because you live to them fully. Again, you do not have to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. Can you do that? Yes, because if you make a mistake, other people call you on it. You say, I am internally driven. Yes, I made that mistake. I am going to fix it because I cannot live with myself for having violated this. How can I make this up? And you do it, and it costs you more to make it up than it would have if you had done it right in the first place. And people respect that because you sacrificed to atone for what you did and to uphold your principle better the second time. This makes you remarkably trustworthy. This is why principles are the level 1 piece of relationships and why they're absolutely crucial for you to enter into a relationship. And this is why that's one of the biggest features for why you don't need to fear rejection, because the people who hate you will hate your principles. Right now, if you violate your principles and don't live to them very much, then yes, you have to fear rejection as far as who you are, because it's your hobbies, it's not having principles. They'll reject you for not having enough principles. They'll reject you for not doing enough for them. They'll reject you for not being hot enough, for not being interesting enough, for not being rich enough. They'll reject you for a ton of not enoughs, but the good, loving, secure people may reject you for not having enough principle in your life. Who do you want to attract? Whose approval do you actually want? Who do you want to be rejected by? This is a better question. Right now, you are being rejected by people who want someone of principle. You are being accepted by people who will violate their principles for that person's approval and convenience. Are those the people you want in your life? If you have to be rejected by some group of people, who would you prefer? Maybe the people who hate your principles? Maybe the toxic people who hate honesty? Hey, now there's a thought. The level 2 piece that you need to be aware of for this, and they tie in very closely with your principles. Your long-term goal is your unified vision of what you want to create in your life. For me, a large, thriving, loving, bonded family where each individual is nurtured and each individual also works together to maintain the good health of the family cluster so they can work together, take care of each other, get everybody's needs met, and build an incredible family system that will thrive and take care of them no matter what the external world is doing. They can take care of each other without crushing any individuals based on good, loving, cooperative attachment. Sound pretty good? Everything in my life has to be geared toward that vision. I have to do everything in line with that. And if the people around me know my dream and my goal, then they can say, Adam, how is this really tying in with that? I see you over here on your couch smoking crack. Well, like, what are you doing? This doesn't quite seem to match up with this vision. I don't smoke crack on my couch. I smoke it in my backyard. No. Sorry. Attachment specialist humor. As you work on this, as you build this connection, your friends, your parents, or whoever in your life loves your principles will call you out on that and say, well, you're living to some of your principles, but not consistently, and you're violating your long-term goals. Where does this match up? Who are you? How do you feel about someone who has absolutely no goal in life? You don't hate them, but they're not super interesting either. And they're not someone you can rely on. They're not someone you can predict, not someone you can probably admire. The people you admire have some kind of goal in mind. And the bigger the goal, or at least the more sharp and unified, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to rule the world. I'm going to build a loving family where people take care of each other, no matter what's happening. That's my goal in a nutshell. That's a pretty small, simple goal. At least it would be in a normal world. Maybe not in the world we're in now, but I want to build a family that takes care of each other no matter what is happening, where the individuals are loved and the system is maintained. That's my goal. Can you respect that? Would you reject someone who had that goal? Or would you be more likely to give that person a second look? So someone who has that as their goal and lives consistently to honesty, integrity, and compassion. Would you reject that person? Well, odds are good you'd actually probably accept some mistakes from that person. Or say, well, you know, Adam, you're kind of weird in some other ways. Your humor is kind of funny. You make a lot of jokes about smoking crack on a couch, but, you know, I could accept you. I could accept because you live consistently to your principles. I can trust you, and you are pursuing a goal that I can respect, and I can trust that about you too. So you're not going to screw me and everybody else over because you know it will destroy your principles and your dream. So you have to live within those things. So the people who are my friends, my best friends, have very similar principles and dreams, and they chase those things, and we keep each other on track. Hey man, I saw you do X, Y, or Z. You know, it's not really living to your goal. Like, what are you trying to do? Please don't smoke crack on your couch anymore, friend. Like, this is not good. I will come in and beat you with a 2x4 if I have to, because I love you too much to let you do that in your life. But if you're really going to do it, then you're really going to do it. You're going to do it with black and blue bruises, but you're going to do it anyway. And then you can give me the finger and we can stop being friends because now I'm going to have to reject you. You get what I'm saying? This is it. It's not the 2x4 that does the magic. It's the principles and the goals. What are your principles and what are your goals? Drop me those in comments below. I want to hear, what are your top 2 or 3 principles you live to that you would rather be rejected for by maintaining them? And what is your goal? What are you building in life? What's your legacy going to be? What are you making? What do you hope to achieve through the course of your life? And how do your principles inform that? For me, to build a family system where the individuals are taken care of and the family system thrives, I have to have honesty, integrity, and compassion in that family system, or that system's going to fall apart. Who wants a family system without honesty, integrity, or compassion? Is that going to last? No, it's not. That's too many families. That's how they break. I need to improve those and live those principles all the time and pass them on as the values inside my family system. Teach my kids those things by living them. What are you doing in your life with those principles and those goals? That's what I want to hear. This is what's going to protect you against rejection. These are the first 2 things that I really teach. Inside my book, 5 Steps to Overcome Your Fear of Rejection. Inside that ebook, I've got all 4 steps laid out, but these are the 2 entry-level pieces that so many people are missing. When you are afraid of rejection, fix these 2 things. Fix these 2. And if you don't know your principles, you don't know your goals, you are afraid of sharing them, you don't even know that you can get to that place because your attachment's so broken, check adamlanesmith.com. Check out my attachment bootcamp video course. It will walk you through doing these things, fixing them, applying them, teaching them, building them in your life, and connecting with better people around those things, because that is what the loving, stable, secure people in your life, or that will enter your life, will want from you. You want that? Check out the Attachment Bootcamp course on adamlanesmith.com. Please, 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 while you're here, drop me comments down below. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your principles and your goals. Make sure you subscribe to the channel while you're at it. That is helping me boost this channel, and it's helping me boost my kids at the same time and feed those kids, because there's a lot of mouths to feed when I'm looking at my legacy. Man, I got a lot of work to do. So help me out, subscribe, drop me comments. Everything helps, but I really want to hear from you. What are you doing in your life with your principles and your goals that's going to prevent you from being rejected by the people you want to get close to?